Hello everyone, Jazz here at Jazz OCR Athlete and Urban Athlete Fitness, and welcome back. As many of you know, May 5th was my shoulder surgery. So after a week, I started to attend PT, which you have to do. So the first week or two, it's basically going to look like this. Just a lot of manual work. He has to, hold your arm and support it. Here, he's just kind of touching on the incision points, making sure the scar tissue doesn't really build up too much, because that could be problematic. Here you'll see him working on a little abduction just to get a little movement in my shoulder, just to make sure it doesn't get too stiff, because we got to work on that range of motion, which will be a long journey. I do have some tightness in my inner forearms, so here he's just kind of stretching that out, trying to push back my fingers and trying to work on that tightness and the tingling, and it just feels weird, inner and outer forearm, believe it or not. All right, so here he's just doing more of that. Now I'm just holding more of that elbow flexion because it gets tight, right? And he has a towel underneath me. There's always support in there. Here he's working on a little bit of external rotation. It doesn't look like much because I can't do much, but he's going internal, now external. And he's kind of holding it. And eventually I'll get much better at that, but that's pretty hard and that's very uncomfortable. Alright, so here is really a big important part, is working on that shoulder flexion, range of motion. It's very stiff, it doesn't necessarily hurt, but very tight. I mean, obviously, if you push too hard, it would hurt, and you could pop something. But so we're slowly getting me into flexion, and back into extension, and then he raises it up, back into flexion, and trying to increase the percentage each time, right? So I would go with the degrees. So I'm probably getting at around somewhere 120, 130 degrees. Now he's just adding a little bit more elbow flexion. Just really trying to straighten out my arm as much as he can. And back to shoulder flexion. The goal here is basically 180 degrees, which is basically holding your arm over your head. Here is just working on a little supination, pronation, just kind of turning my wrists, kind of putting a little pressure on the bicep and my shoulder. So now you'll just see him starting to work on my neck and my shoulders. Basically, they get really knotted up. Your shoulders hiked up all the time, and you're in this weird position in a sling. You don't know what to do. You get tight, knotted up, it hurts. So here's just kind of stretching my neck, doing some trigger point therapy on my traps. Here he does a little bit of bicep activation, kind of making just tension, a little strength work, basically. Concept here is just resistance. He just puts his hands up and I have to resist against it. Nothing too much, doesn't want to pop the tendon. And then that's it. The next couple of weeks will look like that, and then we move on to bigger, better things. Thanks.